Prime Field.
UConn just beat number 16 USC by 28, 79-51, and if you watch that like cool blowout, you miss the real story. Because this game didn't just show who played well, it showed who Geno trusts when March gets tight. And the loudest clue? It wasn't the final score. It was who stayed on the floor, who got real minutes, and who still looked like a situational button instead of a locked-in starter. So let's tier this rotation right now off the USC box score. Alright, here's the premise. In a game that ballooned to a 39-point lead, the minute distribution still exposed a hierarchy. Coaches don't accidentally play people 29, 30, 32 minutes in a game like that. That's not charity, that's a message. So we're ranking this by tiers. March Trust tiers, based strictly on what USC revealed. Tier 1, non-negotiables. S-tier locks. Azzi, Fudd, and Sarah Strong, full stop. Let's start with the closer. Fudd put up 17 points in 29 minutes, hit 3 threes, shot 6 for 11, and that's already a star line. But the trust line is this: 4 assists, only 2 turnovers. That's a 2-to-1 assist to turnover profile while still being your perimeter finisher. And in March, be honest, what kills you? Not missed shots, empty possessions, live ball turnovers, bad decisions late clock. Fudd played heavy minutes, stayed controlled with only 3 fouls, and she didn't play like a scorer trying to get hers. She played like the person who owns the offense when the air gets thin. So tier 1, she's not just in it, she's the definition of it. Now let's go to the player whose stat line looks like a video game. 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 3 assists in 32 minutes. If you're wondering why minutes matter, in a blowout, a coach usually protects the most important chess pieces, but Strong played 32. That's not early rest. That's your central to what we're building. And the efficiency backs it. 6 for 11 shooting, not empty usage. Real volume, real conversion. Here's what makes her S tier. She impacts multiple categories without breaking the offense. She's not a defense-only specialist. She's not a scoring-only star. She's a matchup solution, a scheme switch, a player who can win you a possession 3 different ways: block, steal, or decision-making. So yeah, tier 1 is Fudd and Strong. No debate off this game. Now, tier 2, that's the core that turns a great team into a tournament team. This is where the rotation gets interesting. Ashlyn Shade and KK Arnold. And I'm going to say it, USC basically confirmed that UConn's perimeter structure is not just Fudd. There's a second layer of trust. Ashlyn Shade, the spacing stabilizer. Shade goes 15 points, 6 for 11, 3 for 6 from 3, and plays 29 minutes. Again, 29 minutes in a game that's basically wrapped. That's not hot hand. That's script. And the detail people skip. She also had 4 assists. That's connector stuff. That's, I can keep the offense clean while still bending the defense. Now the turnover number is the one that keeps her out of S here tonight. 4 assists, 4 turnovers. But the larger trust signal is that she played through the game's middle and late flow. Coaches don't do that if they don't believe you're part of the closing group when opponents load the paint. Shade's gravity matters because in March, teams will shrink the floor against Strong. If Shade is hitting, you can't cheat. If you can't cheat, the offense breathes. KK Arnold, the decision-making lever. Arnold's line is sneaky. Only 7 points on 2 for 5, nothing crazy. But the trust stat, 6 assists, 2 turnovers in 30 minutes. That's a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That is the don't-kill-us guard profile that survives in single-elimination basketball. She went 3 for 4 at the line. And she didn't need the 3-ball to function. 0 for 1 from 3. Which matters because some nights you don't have it from deep. Can you still run the team? Arnold showed that. So tier 2 is Shade and Arnold, the spacing piece and the ball security engine. Now tier 3 is where UConn gets dangerous because tier 3 isn't bench. Tier 3 is specialists who swing matchups. 2 names, Blanca Quinones and Sarah Williams, and they're totally different archetypes, which is exactly why they're valuable. Blanca Quinones, the pressure defense accelerant. Quinones plays 21 minutes. That alone matters. But what she did in those minutes, 12 points, 4 steals, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. 4 steals aren't nice activity. That's a role. That's a lever. We can change the tempo of the game whenever we want. And the usage timing matters. She checked in around the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. That is not garbage time. That's intentional. We want this chaos early. She also shot 5 for 9, so she wasn't just running around, she converted. So what tier is that? She's not a guaranteed closer every night because her role is more specific. But when the matchup says we need pressure, she jumps the line. That's why she's B tier, a weapon. Sarah Williams, the rebound anchor. Now Sarah's box score will fool casual fans, 6 points. But then you see 9 rebounds in 21 minutes. That's the trust floor. That's the thing that travels. Rebounding and structure. She also gave you 2 assists and 1 block, and even with limited touches, 3 for 7, she stayed functional. Sarah's value is simple. You can survive ugly stretches with her because she gives you possession security on the glass and screen-setting gravity. In March, that matters. In the Final Four, that matters. In a game where somebody gets in foul trouble, that matters. So Tier 3 is Quinones and Sarah, pressure and rebounds. Now Tier 4 is the uncomfortable part, because this is where the trust rankings get sharp. This tier is basically, you're not in the 7 unless you force your way in. And USC gave us the loudest signal of all, bench minutes as a message. Jenna El-Alfi, Kellis Fisher. The minutes tell. Jenna El-Alfi played 8 minutes, 4 points. Kellis Fisher played 2 minutes, 2 points. And listen, this isn't me saying they're not capable. This is me saying the staff used this game to show the functional core. Because in a blowout, coaches usually empty the bench. But here, only a few got extended, meaningful run. So what does that imply? It implies UConn's trusted few isn't theoretical. USC exposed the real rotation orbit. The top 4 are locks. 2 more are weapons. And the last spot? It's contested, not guaranteed. Which brings us to the tier summary. Tier 1, S-tier locks. Azzi Fudd, the closer, 17 points, 4 assists, 2 turnovers in 29 minutes. Sarah Strong, the matchup unicorn, 14/7 with 3 steals, 3 blocks, 3 assists in 32 minutes. Tier 2, A-tier core. Ashlyn Shade, the spacing stabilizer, 15 points, 4 assists, 29 minutes. KK Arnold, the connector, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, 30 minutes. Tier 3, B-tier weapons. Blanca Quinones, the pressure accelerant, 12 points, 4 steals in 21 minutes. Sarah Williams, the rebound anchor, 9 rebounds in 21 minutes. Tier 4, C-tier fringe/situational. The final rotation slot is still earned. And USC's minutes made that clear. And here's the key takeaway. UConn didn't just beat USC. They showed you the early blueprint of a 7-player March plan, with 1 seat still open. So here's the pivot question, and I want a real answer in the comments. If you had to lock a 7-player tournament rotation tomorrow, who's the 1 player that gets cut? And on the flip side, does Blanca Quinones' pressure defense upside make her a must-play in certain matchups, even over a more traditional bench piece? Drop your tier list, S, A, B, C, and tell me what USC revealed that everyone else is missing.
Prime Field!